Hello, this is Dr. Briscoe here. I'm a teacher at Suncoast Community High School in Riviera Beach, Florida. We're on topic 2.4, Roles and Powers of the President, and today we're looking at the skill 3.B. That has to do with data, and so we're going to be focusing on that skill because it is necessary for you to have that one down to be able to do the data analysis, FRQs, and then some multiple choice questions that'll be associated with data. All right, so here we have our lesson overview. And we've got our topic overview. We are with skill 3B, describe patterns and trends in data. And I've got the describe highlighted as our task verb. This is a chart. It's a flow chart essentially that's telling you how you earn the points on the quantitative analysis FRQ. We'll come back to this a number of times, but it is just showing you how it is that you would go about ensuring that you have completed each of the tasks in order to earn all of the points for the FRQ. All right, so we are with 3B here on this graphic, and we've got another description here, and we're breaking out that task into two subtasks. What do you notice about the data? What trends and patterns can you identify from the data? All right, there's something important to point out when we talk about patterns and trends, and you need to understand that they are two different things. A trend shows a generalized direction of change within a data set, and a pattern is a generalized repeating sequence across a data set. So we've got the orange line here going from high to low, and that's going to be a negative trend. We've got the blue line going from low to high, that's a positive trend, and we've got the green line going up and down, and that is a pattern. And when we talk about patterns, it does not have to be perfect like it is here, and each time the line goes back to a 5. It could be variable in terms of the line, but if you see that there is a general pattern, then that would be called a pattern. All right. So we're looking at some data here, and remember 3A, we need to know what we're looking at. So the data here is presented in a series of line graphs, and they're showing presidential approval ratings from 1945 to 2012, and they're connected together. What do you notice about the data is the question that we're on, and I noticed that the graph is kind of hard to read, but if you just take a second and focus on it and see each grouping as belonging to one of the presidents, then you can start thinking about the bigger picture here. So some things that I noticed. Some presidents only had 1 term, others had 2. I noticed that Kennedy did not complete a term. I noticed that only 1 president, and that was George W. Bush, broke 90% during his presidency. I noticed that only 1 president, President Truman, started his first term with an unusually high approval rating and then ended on around 30% in his second term with one of the lowest there. So those are just things that I am noticing. So when we are now asking about trends and patterns, we know what it is that we are looking at. And so we kind of marked up the graph here. We've got the blue circles there that are telling us about patterns. That is that we've got some peaks there. We've got the lines, the red lines showing downward trends. So when you want to, talk about it, then you can use those terms, all right? And so what I found here, because I had more time than you may have answering this on a test, but I found that half of the presidents began their terms with approval ratings around 60%. All of them finished their terms with lower approval ratings except for 1, and that there were only 3 presidents that had approval ratings over 80% at some time in their presidency. And so we then got an understanding there of some trends as well as patterns. Again, noticing something is not the same thing as identifying or identifying a trend or a pattern. Okay, we've got another one here. And so I'm looking here at what is provided. The data is in a vertical bar graph, demographic characteristics of the U.S. I've got my y-axis and my x-axis. So you want to make sure that you are knowing what you are looking at by the labels that are on the graphic. The legend tells me that there are 4 groups represented with different bars. So what am I noticing here? The group non-Hispanic white has the largest percentage for all the years. The group Asian American has the smallest percentage for all the years, and that the years are not separated in the same way. It goes from 1980 to 2000, 2000 to 2010, and then 2010 to 2050. Why? I don't know, but that is just something that I noticed. So let's look at the trends. I see a trend that the percentage of the group non-Hispanic white decreases over time as the percentage of the group Hispanic uh, increases over time. I also see a trend that the group African American, their percentage stays relatively the same over time. All right, here's another one. This is a line graph. We've got 2 different graphs that are giving us information. We've got state and local government, and we've got paid government civilian employees. And so I have said what it is that I can see about the X and Y axes. And so we see, as just noticing this, the lines seem to start at or near the same point in terms of the millions. I noticed that the lines of one of them goes up pretty steeply, and the other one stays pretty level. I can identify that the numbers of paid federal government civilian employees does not change very much. It kind of stays the same over time, and I can see that the state and local government employees gets up to about 17 million in the year, it looks like around 1993. I'm making guesses with the 17 million and the 1993, just kind of eyeballing it, just to, have some point of reference there. If it asked me some exact numbers, then it would need to give me some exact information. So I can, understand what's going on with this graph. So what should you take away? You want to be able to describe patterns and trends. You understand what the difference is. You can describe the data as it's presented. You can, make note of what it is that you see, and then you can find out what those trends and patterns are. Make sure you do this for all of the data questions, even if you're not specifically being asked to, record that. You just want to have it in your head so that you know what you're looking at before you get started doing anything else. So we're back where we started with the skill 3B, describe patterns and trends in data. All right, that's the end of this video, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.